but here, let's say that we're in an individual level. So you would have a problem if like X2 is bigger than the amount that you're earning, right? Because you could earn.
Could be.
You could have a problem where the agent like dies, and then there's really no one to repay that debt. Right?
No, wait a minute. Yeah, I think you're really misunderstanding what we're assuming here. If Murphy, believe me, knows the answer to that question. Okay, not such a difficult question.
Yeah.
And it's fundamental. Why isn't that a problem here? I know what you're saying. Yes, it's true. But why isn't it a problem here?
Well, I don't know.
Because they're buying insurance. Think of the person, the beginning of the first period or second, buying insurance, an annuity insurance. You pay a certain amount. And they say, yes, you pay that certain amount, right? And we're going to give you a certain amount in terms of expected wealth over your lifetime that you can spend in either period. If you don't live to the second period, we get it. And if you live to the second period, you're getting more than you paid.
But isn't there a selection problem on the people that died? Because you could effectively like borrow a lot from the future, right?
Well,
and then, like,
there might be, there might be heterogeneity across individuals, and the question is, do you know their probability such that you can offer them fair insurance? I'm assuming you're offering this guy fair insurance, so he may be different than everybody else. But as long as you know what his probabilities are, a competitive market will drive you, and no cost of running this business will drive you in that direction.
All right. So
that's all stuff we did in 301.
Yeah. So you're assuming that you have that framework. So
I just assume I mean, if I didn't have that framework, then your issues would come up. So you'd have to say, well, how am I constrained, right? Maybe you have a constraint. I can't leave negative debt, so I have to. Everything I consume in the first period has to be subject to the fact that I can't end up leaving negative debt if I leaving debt if I live through the second period. That might be one constraint, right? That might be a constraint. In this case, the way we have it, if you die at the beginning of the first period, you're leaving an asset to everybody else. You're contributing to their welfare. And if you live, they're contributing to you. The guys who died early are contributing to you. That's the assumption. Seems like a good starting point. It's not necessarily the only way you want to do it. In fact, we just had a dissertation defense yesterday in which he asked, why don't people buy annuities, even though the loading factor is very low? Fact is, nobody much buys it. I mean, we have Social Security and people have other stuff, but there's a lot of non-annuitized wealth that people have, particularly at higher income levels, not so much at the low income levels. They don't buy them. Right? But I mean, I'm not going to go into everything his answer, but his answer, and I think it's the right answer, is that they're leaving bequests to their children. So having their children insure them is a cheaper way of doing it than the 10%. Let's say there's a 10% discount off of fair insurance. And it's cheaper to have your children take care of you if you live longer than to buy that unfair insurance. And he showed under various utility assumptions, you can do it. It's not a big effect on the kids' wealth, what you leave them for the most part, and so on. But whether he's right or not, it doesn't really matter for what we're doing, because we have full annuity insurance. And even in his case, you could buy perfectly fair insurance, everybody would do it.